Okay. Good morning and welcome to our webinar series today on cloud accounting. Our topic today is XERO Accounting Software training, and I would like to welcome all participants to today's webinar. We appreciate your time. The objective of this webinar is to provide training on essential features of XERO cloud accounting software, and to enable participants to also take advantage to learn about it and equip themselves in their career and for business as well. So with me today to lead the discussion or the training is Ellen. Ellen is the manager of the client accounting unit of SCG, and she is our XERO expert. She will be taking us through the training today. Kindly note that your mics are muted to avoid feedbacks. And then if you have any question in the course of the training, you can put them in the Q&A box below, and all questions will be attended to after the session. Kindly also note that this webinar or the training session will be in two parts. The first part happening today, the 14th of May, 2020, and then the second session would also happen next week, Thursday, 21st of May, 2020. We encourage all participants to register for both sessions so that we would all have the full benefits of it. So I would want to welcome Ellen and ask her to introduce herself. Then she will tell us what she has for us today. Ellen, you are welcome.
Thanks, Amos, and I'm pleased to be here this morning to train participants to gain some basic cloud accounting software skills. I'm Ellen Nimakun. I've worked with SCG for about 4.5 years as an outsourced accountant for SMEs and then subsidiaries of multinational firms. So as an outsourced accountant, my work involves migrating client information into XERO, training clients and colleagues on how to use XERO. So today I'll be teaching you how to enter transactions in XERO and then how to perform some other functions in XERO.
Okay, Ellen, thank you very much for the introduction. So now we move straight to action. So now what do you have for us for today's training?
Okay, so for today's training, we'll be looking at developments in accounting, why you should learn XERO as a business owner and as a student or a graduate. And then we'll look at some of the features of XERO today. We'll then take your questions and then answers. Okay, so delving straight into the first outline in development in accounting. So accounting has gone through these stages from the manual systems to the computerized systems and now the cloud accounting software systems. So with the manual systems, the bookkeeping is done mainly in books. Transactions are entered into the day books or journals, transferred into the individual ledgers, and then summarized into the GL, the trial balance, and then the preparation of financial statements. So with these systems, it's essentially paper-driven. And then we have the computerized systems. So this is the advent of software such as spreadsheets and desktop software. So Excel was prone to errors and difficult to establish a trail of users and activities. And with the desktop software, it's installed on the PC or accessed via servers. It also involved significant infrastructure costs, such as servers, license, upgrades, etc. And it can be accessed within a specific location, mostly on premise and then by accountants. And then we have the cloud accounting systems. So with the cloud, you buy the right to use the software, which is on the provider's hardware and then transmitted via internet. So this concept is known as SaaS, that is software as a service. So example of the cloud system is XERO. These systems allows multiple users and collaboration. It can be accessed anywhere once there's internet access. And then cloud systems uses API, an acronym for Application Programming Interface, which is a software intermediary that allows two applications to talk to each other. So for example, when you integrate your bank information with XERO, as transactions occur in your bank account, it seamlessly comes into XERO. Okay, so what then is XERO? So it's an easy to use online business and accounting software. It enables small businesses to work in real time with everyone involved in their business, including the accountant or bookkeeper. So XERO is designed for a lay person, a non-accountant with support from accountants. So as outsourced accountants, we train non-accountants like administrators, front desk personnel, etc. to use some functions of the software. We will then review the entries, handle the accounting close process, prepare the reports, and analyze financial performance of your business using profitability, liquidity, and gearing ratios. Again, XERO allows you to integrate a data analytics software. Then data analytics can be prepared to identify patterns, establish relationships such as associations, and then correlations. So findings from analytics leads to better marketing, better customer service and relationship management, increased customer loyalty, increased competitive strength, and then new sources of revenue. XERO again has the app marketplace where software can be added on to perform a specific business function. So you can add on a document extraction software like Receipt Bank, HubDoc, or an inventory management software such as Unleash, Deer, etc.
Very well. So, Ellen, let me try and understand, why must business owners, why is it so important for business owners to get to know XERO and learn about how to use it?
Okay, so for a business owner, you need to learn XERO to utilize the business functions within the software. So XERO has inbuilt sales and purchase process, which you can implement and improve your business process. So you can easily send quotations, invoices, purchase orders without having to depend on your accountant for these. You can also obtain up-to-date accounting information about your business. So XERO makes it possible to enter transactions immediately they occur. Hence, you see your profit and loss balance sheet at every point in time. XERO allows you to make relevant financial decisions. So once you have up-to-date information, you can then implement strategies to improve performance or meet your budgetary targets. XERO again allows you to manage your cash flow. So with XERO's cash flow forecast, you can see how much money you expect to receive and review what you owe to your suppliers, and then determine if additional finance is needed. So XERO insists on due dates when you are raising invoices. And due dates are very important as it gives an indication on when to expect payment to aid in cash flow forecast. Again, you can easily set up automatic reminders and get paid faster. As a business owner, finally, XERO allows you to work with your external accountant. So as you use the business functions to raise quotations, invoices, purchase orders, and bills, your accountant simply handles the close process and ensures your accounts are compliant with the IFRS standards.
Okay, so I know that there are a lot of students or graduates who have joined this webinar. So just as you have explained the benefits of XERO or cloud accounting to business owners, why must students or graduates also learn or know about XERO?
Okay. Well, if you're a graduate or a student and you joined us this morning, you should know that accounting is no longer manual. So although some still do accounting in Excel, the traditional manual debit and credit is automated to a large extent. So for instance, when you raise an invoice, the software debits the receivable account and it will request you to choose the sales account, which is the account to be credited. Hence, you need to understand the accounting behind the software. Again, it helps you gain future employability skills. Employers are constantly looking for people with relevant cloud accounting information system skills. So ensure you know how to use a cloud accounting software before you graduate, or make sure you gain these skills after graduation. Well, it helps you gain a competitive edge during job search. Obviously, knowing how to use a cloud accounting software like XERO gives you a competitive edge over others, and you are likely to get that accountant job you've always dreamed of. Well, you can pursue a career also in accounting technology. So increasingly, careers in accounting are evolving. So traditionally, we have auditors, financial accountants, management accountants, etc. According to the IFAC's Future Fit Accountant roles, one of the future roles in accounting is digital and technology enabler, where you are able to transform the finance function of any business to become a digital enabled workforce through possessing technology understanding and skills to take advantage of new digital and tech tools. So these are the reasons why, as a graduate, you should know how to use XERO. So today for our training, we'll be looking at these features. First and foremost, how to access XERO. We'll look at the dashboard, how to raise quotations, invoices. We'll look at also how to raise purchase orders, bills, and then we'll finally end with how to import bank statements. So we will now have a live demonstration of the features. So to access the XERO software, you log on to www.xero.com. So this is the XERO website, if you are seeing it on my screen. Then you have the option to try for free for 30 days. And then after 30 days, you have to sign on to a plan. So you can sign on to the starter, business, or the premium plan based on the nature of business and then based on the number of transactions. So when you try for free, you'll be required to enter your name, your last name, your email address, your phone number, and then your country. And then you select you select Ghana. Then you can check the verification box here to indicate that you are not a robot. You check to read the terms, privacy, and then other offer details. And if you want to receive any marketing communications from XERO, you can check this box and then get started. You can also access the XERO app on the App Store or Google Play Store, depending on the phone you are using. So once you are done subscribing for the free trial, you get to create a company. So we are going to use the demo company for our practice today. So you can also sign on for the 30 days and then practice with the company that you have created. So our training today will be focused on performing the accounting or business functions in a company that is already set up. So our demo company has already been set up. So you are going to learn how to perform some of the accounting functions in it. So every time you log in, you'll be taken to the dashboard. So this is the dashboard. So the dashboard enables managers, business owners to see how their business is always performing at a quick glance. when the transactions are processed, immediately it occurs. So what a dashboard does is that it puts the most relevant information where you need it. So you can easily review your monthly trends to stay on top of cash flow by reviewing the inflows and then the outflows. So for the month of April, you could see you have an inflow of 6188 and then an outflow of 1593. So you have excess receipts over payments or over payables that you have to make payments for. Again, the dashboard displays the income and expense accounts you want to monitor. So if these accounts are very significant to you and you want to monitor, you can set them up. So I have set my advertising, entertainment and inventory and sales accounts. I've set them up to be monitored on a monthly basis. So when you do that, it will show under the accounts watch list. So XERO is designed for non-accountants like you who have joined us this morning. So because of that, it uses simple terminologies like invoices owed to you, which are your receivables, and then invoices or bills that you need to pay, which are your payables. So you could always hover around to see how much money you expect to receive for each month, and then how much you owe to your suppliers also for each month. If you want to edit the dashboard, it can easily be customized by simply clicking on the edit dashboard beneath and then drag to the appropriate location that you want. So once you are done, you can save changes to save the changes to get the new customized form for the dashboard. So we are now going to go into the business functions within XERO. We'll start with the sales process. So these business functions are always under the business tab. So you go through the business functions and processes built into the software, and with the main objective of ensuring accuracy and completeness of your accounting information. So the sales process usually starts with sending client quotations. And then when the quotation is accepted, you can convert it into an invoice. So we are going to create a new quotation upon request received from a potential customer, city agency. So our potential customer is city agency. That is what we are going to use for our training this morning. So under business tab, quotations, and then new quotes. Select our customer, city agency. So next week we'll learn how to set up our customer or contact details. So assuming it's been set up already, you select the customer and then enter the expiry date. So you wouldn't want to have your quotation open forever. So you want it to expire within, let's say, the next 15 days. The quote number is pre-populated based on the setup. And then you can enter the reference for this quotation and then select the currency, whether it's USD or it's Ghana cedi. So let's say our reference is DMQ001. Our quotation is for accounting service. And then you select the sales accounts. Select your tax rates. And then you can save. You also have the option to send the quote from XERO to the customer. So you come back to drafts under the draft tab, the quotation that we just raised, and then we'll send the quote to our customer. So assuming this quotation is being sent to Amos, I'll enter Amos' email address here. review the messages which have been pre-populated by the software. If I'm okay, and then I will send the quotation out. I want to receive a copy of the quotation, so I check this box to receive a copy of the quotation, and then I click send. So Amos will get this quotation right in his email, and you also see the message here indicating that the quote has been sent. Okay, so when you send the quote and then it's accepted, obviously you have to render the service or supply the goods. So once that is complete, you can then convert the quotes into an invoice. So now let's come back to this quotation under the options tab to mark it as accepted. And then would have rendered the service or would have supplied the goods. So we now have the option to create an invoice. So you can click on create invoice. You can see that it's even highlighted for you once you mark it as accepted. So you click on create invoice, mark as invoice, and then create. Once you do that, you see a lot of the information from the quotation is already pre-populated here for you, which saves you a lot of time. So you can just add the due date of when you expect to receive payment. So it's very important to enter the due dates because it's used for sending reminders and it's also used for determining overdue invoices. And you can't even save the invoice without entering the due dates. So our due date for this invoice is 15 days. You review any other information that you have and then attach your VAT invoice. So I'm going to attach my VAT invoice, which is on my desktop. And then save the invoice as a draft. So you save it as a draft so that the manager or supervisor can review all the information with all the attachments before approving the invoice. So we go back to the drafts tab, open the invoice again. So assuming I'm the manager or the supervisor, I'm about to review the information entered here. So I check everything and then it's okay. And then I click on approve. So once I approve this invoice, the accounting entries are entered. So remember when we created the quotation, we were required to enter the sales account. So you would have the sales account credited and then the account receivable debited. So the accounting entries are done the moment you click approve. So that ends the sales process. You are going to look at the purchase process, which also begins with the creation of purchase orders, and then from there to bills. Again, it's under the business tab, and then purchase orders. So usually after receiving a quote from your supplier, you will issue a purchase order to them, which authorizes them to supply you the goods or to render the service to you. So you then create a new PO. So for creating a new PO, we use a company called ABC Furniture. So new purchase order. We select the supplier ABC. And then we'll enter the delivery date. So we want the service or the goods to be rendered within 15 days. The order number again is pre-populated based on the setup. And then you can enter your reference and choose the currency. So this is for a supply of stationery. Enter the quantity, the unit price, and then you select the purchase account. Review the information enter any delivery instructions and phone numbers and anyone's attention that you want to draw. And then you can save the PO for your manager or supervisor to review again and then approve. So I come in as a manager or supervisor, I review the PO and then I approve it. So just as we sent the quotation from the software, we can also send the PO also from the software to the supplier. So you click on send. I will send this PO again to Amos, assuming he is the supplier. And then click on send. So when you send the PO, the goods will be delivered or the service will be rendered, and then it will come with a bill. Normally comes with a bill. So you now mark the PO as billed when you have received the bill. And then copy the PO details into a draft bill so that you don't have to now enter all the details on the invoice again. So when you do that, the information is pre-populated into the draft bill. The information from the PO is pre-populated into the draft bill. So you can easily review all the information and then enter the due dates on the bill. Again, it's very important for managing your cash flows. So you don't pay bills when they are not due, and you also don't delay payments and incur any interest costs from your suppliers. So your supplier is expecting payments within, let's say, 15 days again. There's a VAT invoice that you received from the supplier. So you can attach your invoice to it and then save your bill as drafts. It's very important to save as drafts so that the manager or supervisor can review to ensure everything is accurate or correct before approving. Like I said earlier on, once it's approved, the accounting entries are entered. So you have to make sure that there's a senior person reviewing to make sure everything is accurate. So we come back to our draft bill. As a manager or a supervisor, I would review the information entered together with my attachments. Everything is okay, and then I can approve. Once you click on approve, the purchases account will be debited, and then the accounts payable or the supplier control account will be credited. So that ends our purchase process. We'll take a final feature training, which is on importing a bank statement. So I'm going back to my dashboard. Usually, the bank accounts are included in the setup stage. So for this demo company, these are my bank accounts, 2 bank accounts here. Nonetheless, you can always set up any additional bank accounts under the chart of accounts screen. So when you go to the chart of accounts screen, you can set up additional bank accounts that you need. So in XERO, you must upload the statements for each bank. So if this is your bank account, you must upload the statements for each of these bank accounts. So we are going to import a statement for a business bank account. So to do that, you can click on these 3 dots here, and then you see a sub menu here highlighted for you. So you can now select import a statement. And then you can download the XERO template, transfer the bank transactions into the template, and then format appropriately. So these are the file formats that XERO supports: CSV, QIF, and then OFX. So before we'll go into the how to import, let me go back again to the bank accounts. So before you import for a particular month, so let's say you're about to import for May, you have to ensure you compare the beginning balance in zero for the account that you're about to import with the actual balance on the bank statement. So let's assume this is the closing balance for April, 12,985.64, which is the opening balance for May. So make sure you check this balance and compare it with the actual bank statement to make sure it's accurate before you import. So now I'm going to show you how to format the template. So this is your template from zero. You have transferred your bank transactions into this template. So you don't import the opening balances. You simply import only the transactions. You simply import the transactions. So make sure all the columns with the asterisks are filled. So dates is a compulsory column. You have to fill it. Amounts, payee description, and then check numbers. So you fill all these columns. And the amount column must be one column for both positive and then negative transactions, i.e. payments and then receipts. So all your payments will have negative signs before them, and all the receipts will be positive numbers. So this is how the column, the amount column should look like. And then you can simply perform a verification check. So you can sum up all the transactions. So when you sum all of them up, both the debits and then the credits, you have 4670. Then add this amount to the balance that you checked, the opening balance, the one that we just did. Add it to that, and then compare the resulting figure on your bank statement. It should be the same. So when you do this verification check, you make sure that before you even import, the transactions that you are importing are accurate. So make sure you do this to minimize any errors, and then any time that you have to spend importing. You don't want to import and then you delete and then come and correct your file again. So ensure you have done this and then you correct your file. Correct any mistakes on the file. So let's go back to our import screen. So we've done all our verification, and then we are sure that our template is accurate. So we go back to our our import screen to import our bank statement. So when you are in this screen, you can simply click on manage account. But when you are in the desktop screen, then you can click on the three dots. So manage account, import a statement, and then you can browse for your file. Browse for your CSV file and then import. So we have an error here which has occurred. So we'll try and import into the next bank account to do the demonstration. Okay. So you would see this screen pop up for you if your file is accurate. This allows you to review the transaction that you have imported again, and then make sure you map the columns appropriately. So on your Excel file, you had these columns: date, amount, payee, description, check number. So the ones that the system is able to map, you can see that it's mapped the date, it's mapped the amount, and it's mapped the payee, and then description. It wasn't able to map the check number, so you can just simply click on the drop down arrow here and then select to map. And then check the date formats, and then make sure you check this verification, this box to not to import the first line because they are column headings. And then on your right, you can simply review the transactions. So it's telling you that based on the statement line options you have assigned, this is what you are going to see. So May 1st, the transaction will appear here as a credit of 5,000. You can simply just run through it next to review all the transactions which have been imported. Again, this is a second verification to make sure you review all your files before you import to reduce any errors. Then you can save. So this is your import results. 9 statement lines were imported and there were no duplicates. So you can click OK, and then you move back to your dashboard screen. So after you have uploaded, you always see the number of unprocessed transactions showing on each bank statement. On each bank, sorry. So for this bank, you can see that we have 9 transactions, which are the transactions that you imported. So you now have to code these transactions into a particular account or recognize the transactions. So we'll cover that next week on how to account for transactions which have been imported. Okay, so dear participants, to summarize what we have learned today, we've learned how to assess XERO, what XERO dashboard is, raising quotations, invoices, raising purchase orders, bills, and finally uploading bank statements. So next week, we are going to learn how to enter transactions and then do bank reconciliations, how to create contacts. We'll look at the reports section and also how to customize reports. So I hope to see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you, Ellen, for the presentation and the training. I believe that participants have learned and I have enjoyed the session. So we'd encourage everybody who have participated today to be part of next week's training session as well. We have about 30 participants so far. That's quite encouraging. And then we would want to see all of you next week or even more so that we can have the full benefit. But I'm particularly happy that graduates can, make a career out of becoming XERO experts,
Yes.
and then enhance their future employability and all, and as well as for business owners also. Let me go to the Q&A and find out if there are questions okay. I think I have a few questions coming up, so I'll be picking them. Okay, so from Theophilus, he said, thank you for so thank you. Emmanuel Edu is saying the training was great. Thank you very much. You can keep bringing in your questions and then we would be addressing them. We have a few minutes more to wrap up, so we would attend to the questions. Okay. Michael said, okay, good day.
Good day, Michael.
All right, so, okay, someone wants to know what is unprocessed transactions on the bank statements?
Because these are transactions which are yet to be coded or recognized, meaning yet to be categorized into a particular chart of accounts. Okay. Whether it's an expense or it's a liability or it's a revenue or it's an equity.
Okay. Abdul Jabat Bimi said, thank you. And then Theophilus Bokete also said, thank you. Someone wants to find out, can XERO be used internally by a business?
Yes. You can use it and then you let your accountant just handle the close process for you to review all the transactions to make sure that it's accurate. It's actually encouraged for the business owners to use it for the business actually.
Okay. All right, Richard Ajimanopoku wants to, understand something on the bank statement. He said, please, can she go over the importing of the bank statement? Can you just?
Okay, Richard, I'll try and summarize that for you.
Yeah, but let me try and also inform our participants that this training session will be recorded and then posted onto our website, so you can have access to it again on our website, www.scg.com.gh. You can go there, you access it through our YouTube channel, and then you can go over everything that we have gone through today. But she would maybe just do a summary of that.
Okay, so Richard, like I said, you have to import for a particular bank. So if you want to import for this business bank account, first check the opening balance, confirm that with the original bank statement, and then you can click on the manage account if you are in this screen, and then import a statement. Once you are done, if you want to download the CSV template, you can download the CSV template, format the template, and then if you are done with the format, I think I showed you how to do the format. You browse for your file, import, select the file, and then click on open and then import. So you have the pop-up screen where you then map the column headings that you have in your file to the XERO headings. And then once you get the results, that's all your transactions have been imported and there are none which were duplicates, then it means that you have an accurate import.
Okay, great. Thank you. Silas Asan say thank you. And then Theophilos Bokete wants to know, please, is XERO widely used or is just emerged?
No, XERO has been in existence for my knowledge, about 5 years now. So it didn't just emerge, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Michael Okrantan wants to know, the software is good and user-friendly. Please, how much does it cost to buy the software? I think it's not expensive. It's very affordable. So, Michael, you can get in touch with us, and then we would talk about the pricing. But I can assure you that it's very affordable. And so, why is the format important? Okay. I think
because if you don't import in the appropriate format that the software supports, it can't go through and you cannot process your transactions and you can't also perform your bank reconciliation.
Okay, somebody, Evans Yaboa says, I have improved my knowledge in XERO. Thank you very much. He is from Kofas.
Hi, Evans.
Yeah, and then Mike Mabel Anokwa also say, thank you for this opportunity to learn something new. I mean, that's great to know. And then we also appreciate your time joining us. Well, Ellen, just to add to what you just said about XERO, XERO has been around for, close to 10 years now. And it's been widely used in Australia,
New
US,
Zealand,
US, but in Ghana, it hasn't been that widely used, but it's also it's actually emerging, and that is well to note. So that is it for. So I think we have just 2 minutes to wrap up our session. We can see a lot of questions, but we may not. XERO has over. Yeah, somebody saying, yes, I know about XERO. It has over 1 million users. That's great. Yeah, it's over 1 million users. That's very, very encouraging. So we encourage all to, actually take advantage of this free training and enhance their understanding of XERO to benefit them, both in their business and in their career. So thank you very much, Ellen, for that presentation. And for our participant, thank you also for attending this webinar. We appreciate your time. And as I said earlier, we encourage you to also sign up for our next session, which comes on next Thursday, 21st of May, so that we can, to have the concluding part of this session. And if you are interested in knowing more or learning more about XERO, you can contact us at info@scg.com.gh. You can also visit our website, www.scg.com.gh, to find out more about what SCG does and XERO as well. So keep following us, and we will be having such interaction in subsequently, and we encourage all of you to keep taking part. We would want you to share your feedback. So after the session, a feedback form will be sent to you. We kindly request you to complete and let us have your feedback, how this session, your impression about this session, so that we can improve it in our subsequent presentation. So thank you very much for joining us, and hope to see you next week. Thank you.